Hello and welcome to Solent Sport News. It's been another golden week for the university. Success in the boxing last weekend has been followed by a first-place finish for one of the Solent's athletes. Long-distance runner Mohamed won at the Bucks Indoor Championships in Sheffield on Saturday in controversial circumstances, as Lana Zarrington reports.
This was the start of a truly golden moment for Southampton Solent University at this weekend's Bucks Nationals. 20-year-old Mohamed saw off the very best from universities across the country, taking home the gold medal in the indoor 3,000 metres. And even 24 hours later, standing atop the podium as champion still hasn't set in for the Solent runner.
Well, it's too much for me, to win a Bucks for my unis and for myself is too much for me, and getting really good times on track. It's too much, I'm really happy.
The race wasn't without its controversy though, as Sheffield athlete Tom Horgan finished the race in first place. However, he was disqualified after being judged to have stepped off the track to overtake the pack with just 500 metres to go. Despite this, Mohamed is still in a celebratory mood.
Yeah, great. Oh my God, I'll never forget this. This is my first back, and it's unbelievable. It's a great teamwork. It's such enjoyable and fun.
Just one day removed from his gold medal success, Mohamed's focus is already racing ahead to future competitions.
Next it will be in nationals cross country, and then just intercounts after that. I want to compete in elite athlete like Olympian and world champ athlete.
Bringing home gold for Solent, Mohamed is certainly in the running to be considered one of the university's top athletes. Linus Harrington, Solent Sports News.
Moving to basketball, and there was a top-of-the-table clash for Team Solent Casseroles in the National Basketball League. They took on second-place Loughborough. I went along to St Mary's Sports Hall to watch the game. Saturday saw Team Solent Casseroles return home for a huge first-against-second matchup against Loughborough Riders in Basketball Division 1. With a packed St Mary's Leisure Centre cheering for the Solent, the team was looking to cement their place at the top of the table.
Loughborough are a really strong uni side. They take a lot of talent from all different parts of the country, which is always hard. And you never know. When we played them at the start of the season, they beat us quite comfortably, but we've been on a roll recently.
The Solent squad was always in the front of the match, and in the half-time they already had a comfortable advantage with 18 points in the lead. Second in the league, Loughborough did better on the third period, scoring 18 points against Solent's 9 points. But that was not enough to turn around the final result, as the home team kept the lead by 95 points to 82.
Yeah, that's been the plan all week. We've had a great week of practice, worked really hard, put some specific things in to play against them, and unfortunately it came to on the court. Very high. Sitting number one on the table, so we're ready to hopefully get the win for the league.
After a great performance in such an important match, the assistant coach was also pleased with his players.
So it's a huge win for us. I thought the guys played very well. We played particularly well in the first half, putting 59 points on the board. We slowed down a little bit in the third quarter, but ultimately the guys rallied in the fourth, and we're really pleased with the result. First place is available, so that's exactly where we're shooting for, and that's really what our goals are as a group. We set out at the start of the season to challenge for some silverware. We've got ourselves to a trophy final, and we're still on to finish first in the league. So if we can do that, that's where our expectations are really.
With only 5 games left to play, Team Solent will be hoping they stay top of the table until the playoffs in April. Miguel Machado, Solent Sport News. On to football now, and despite their poor league form, Southampton are through the quarter-finals of the FA Cup for the first time in 13 years. They beat West Brom 2-1 on Saturday. For more, we can talk to the Daily Echo's chief football writer Adam Leach, who's in our newsroom for us. Adam, this was a big win for Saints against their relegation rivals, even though it was a cup game.
Well, it can only be positive. I think that's the conclusion you can take. It can only be a positive thing. They desperately need some momentum, and the cup has been important since the turn of the year. They've played 3 cup games. They've won 3 cup games, and in a season when you've only won 5 league matches all season, getting wins however you get them is important. It's important for the confidence of the players. It's important to build momentum going into a really important, critical run of games, and it's important for the manager as well. I mean, there obviously is some unrest amongst sections of the fan base with him and with his management style and the results that he's got. So actually getting wins is a good thing, and it helps shore up his position. The same way last year, the EFL Cup really helped Claude Puel kind of stay in a job, even though he ended up losing it at the end of the season. It's given something, a slight galvanising effect to Maurizio Pellegrino and to the team as well, and that's exactly what they need. And also, that's 2 wins over West Brom, 1 in the league and 1 in the cup, both away from home in the last fortnight. They've got to play a lot of teams around them coming up, Saints, mainly away from home. So it's only a good confidence boost to go away to relegation rivals and to get that winning feeling and to get it a couple of times, no matter what competition it's in. So I can only see positives from it.
So Saints will either play Wigan or Manchester City in the next round. They play tonight. Is the cup going to become a worrying distraction for the team?
We ran a poll actually at the weekend on the Daily Echo website, and it was about 80% said that they would take Premier League survival and getting knocked out of the FA Cup over winning the FA Cup and getting relegated. That's a pretty stark choice, I grant you, but nonetheless, it does go to show that obviously staying in the Premier League is the most important. But we're talking about 1 game here. It's not that big a distraction, I don't think. It's away to Manchester City. Let's be honest, the odds are going to be stacked against Saints, assuming that it is Man City that they end up playing. It's going to be a very difficult game, but the quarterfinals this year, they're decided on the day. There's no replays, which is a good thing for Saints. They ran City really close up at the Etihad in the Premier League. And on a one-off day, why not? They may as well give it a go. I don't think it's a massive distraction. All it means is the game that was that weekend, which was Swansea away, will get bumped to later in the season and be a midweek. So it might make for one slightly more difficult week. When you're not winning games in the league, 5 all season, getting wins however they come is good. So you take them.
Adam, thanks very much for joining us. And that's all we have time for this week. Make sure you join us again next week for more Solent Sport news from the Masters team. Goodbye.